y'all, welcome back. I'm Amanda and this is my messy closet. So I'm gonna have to take the camera down and turn it around to really truly show y'all so you can appreciate how messy this is. Right now, I am actually stepping on clothes that are on the floor. There's bins full of stuff, there's shoes everywhere, there's purses on the floor. It is a giant mess because over the past 2 years, I have kept the stuff I already had in here and I've just added more, and it's been more and more and more, and I've been like, oh, I'll deal with it next week, and I keep putting it off, and I just keep throwing stuff in here, and now it's at the point where I can barely walk in here. So let me flip you guys around and show you what we're dealing with.
Okay, so I have the camera light in here so you can see better, but otherwise this is exactly how it was. I've got a lot of basically shoes, purses, hangers, clothes on the floor. I've broken some hangers stepping on them. That pillow was from when I had surgery back in 2020, but you can see it's just a giant mess on the floor and a lot of things not where they belong.
Yikes, that is so embarrassing. But I want to be very real with y'all here. I am not an organizational guru. I am a real woman just like you who just wants to take away the stress of getting dressed in the morning and come into my closet and know that everything here is something that is practical and I'm going to feel great in. You do not have to have a fancy design closet. You're not going to need to buy a lot of storage containers. You can see I have the builder grade wire shelves in my closet. I would love to have a fancy custom built closet. That's not a financial priority for me right now, and it doesn't have to be a financial priority for you. So we are going to, first thing, everything that's on the floor, everything that is not hanging up and has a spot, it has got to go. We are going to move all of that out, and then we will see what we're left with. Way more stuff in here than I thought there was. So that's a mess that I have to deal with. I'm back in the closet, so I've got things cleared out. So what I want to do is, obviously right now we're not doing our full closet organization, but we should kind of have the foundation for where we're going to want things to be. So for example, right here, these are all of my dresses because there is a lower wire rack here and then there's nothing underneath it. So there's room for all the dresses to hang. The next to it, right behind me, these are Sean's clothes, and then going down that way are my tops and skirts. So what I actually want to do is I want all of my clothes to be together, and I want all of Sean's clothes to be in one section of the closet. So I am going to move all of his stuff down there. I'm going to bring my stuff forward so that when I'm coming here and I can stand here and turn around and look and I can see all of my clothes. There are some other basic organization things that I already have set up in here that I can already work with, but I am going to show you those as well. So if you don't have that in your closet, these are some things that you can think about doing before you start bringing everything back in. Okay, so this is the other length of my closet. You can see, so up there I have those are all my shoes and those plastic bins there. So I like keeping the shoes in the plastic bins. However, I used to have a step stool so that I could reach them, and I just find that that doesn't really work for me, and the containers tend to topple over a lot. So I want to take those containers from up there and I want to bring them over here because this is a little lower above my dresses, and I will be able to still utilize the space above my dresses, but it will be more reachable. Then I'm going to bring y'all back over here. So you can see I've kind of got these buckets here, and they have various things in them. So I will at a later point go through these buckets and determine if everything belongs in the buckets, but right now they're not in the way, so they're going to stay. So one thing I've done here is these belts are just hanging on the wall with just a little push pin. So that's something super inexpensive. You can go get that from the Dollar Tree. If the belt itself you don't think it's going to fit on the push pin, just tie a little hair tie around it and then hang that on the push pin. But that is a super easy way and cheap and easy to hang up your belts. So now going up, again, I want to utilize as much of the ceiling space as possible. So I have my hats hanging on the wall. Those, again, are up there with push pins. Super easy, super inexpensive. I have some more space here. You can see I have some hats that have fallen down. So I'm going to put those back up. And then finally here, this is a large cork board, and then I just covered it with some fabric to make it a little pretty, and then all my necklaces are hanging with push pins. I've got some hanging below the cork board. So this is actually 3 layers of push pins here. So you've got the push pin here, There's a row of push pins right here, and then there's the row of push pins along the top, and I can get a lot of necklaces on here. So this is nailed to the wall. I did use heavy duty hooks just because I knew I was going to want to put a lot of necklaces on it, and this works perfectly. I've had this here for 5 years and it has never fallen down once. Okay. So it is now day 2. As you can see, I have moved all of my shoes. So they are behind me. They are on top of my dresses. I have all my dresses over here. I still have Sean's clothes over here, and then all my clothes are down that way. So I need to flip those around. And then up top above all these clothes, I have organized all my purses very neatly. So what I have done is that big pile that you saw me take out and put in my bathroom, I cleared through that entire pile. I got rid of shoes that I didn't need anymore, organized all my shoes up here, got rid of purses I didn't need anymore, organized all my purses up here, figured out, you know, clothing that was on the floor, whatnot. I'm not going to guess whether anything was clean and just fell on the floor or if it was dirty. I'm just going to presume anything that wasn't on a hanger is dirty and the laundry needs to be done. So I have a bunch of laundry to do. Don't worry if your closet doesn't look like this right now. That's okay. Let's talk about what you do need to be doing this week. This process is not designed to be an overnight or done in a day type of process. You can speed through it if you really want to, but what I recommend is taking a week for each step, you know, working on it a little bit at a time. Like, we all get it. We all have families, we have jobs, we have other things that we have to balance. No one expects you to devote 40 hours to cleaning out your closet all in one sitting. So what you're going to focus on, first off, if it doesn't belong in the closet, and when I say belong in the closet, if it's not clothes, purses, shoes, you know, jewelry, if it's not stuff that you wear, it probably doesn't belong in your closet. I'm going to give you a caveat on that. I know some people may live in apartments or small condos, and you may only have the one closet, which is your bedroom closet, and so you may be using it for storage. If that's your situation, then I get you might be storing some things in your closet. Otherwise, if you have other closets, other spaces in your home to store things like your Christmas tree, your, I don't know what, you know, whatever random things sometimes wind up in your closet, then you need to get it out, and your closet needs to be focused on the things you wear. Again, the idea of this project is that we're taking away the sense of overwhelming, oh my gosh, I have nothing to wear when we go into our closets. And so when we go into our closets, or if you ever reach in closet, you know, we open the doors or we're looking at our closet and we see all this other stuff, that's where that visual overwhelming comes into. So first step, if it doesn't belong here, get it out. If this is the only space that you have is your bedroom closet to store anything in your home, then you need to kind of divide your closet and say, okay, this is the space that's defined for my clothes and accessories. This is the space that is for other you know, storage. And then from moving forward, when I say closet, your closet, I'm talking about that specific portion that you have designated for, this is where the things that I wear belong. Okay, so does that make sense? Number 2. You're going to start the organization process of your closet. Anything that's on the floor, anything that's falling off hangers, anything that's not neat and orderly and it's just kind of shoved in there, pull it out. See what you have left, see the space that you have left with to have things neatly organized. Get things back on hangers. Do you have enough hangers? If you don't have enough hangers right now, that might not be a big deal because the next step is going to be actually to go through clothes and you may be getting rid of things. So just kind of set things aside that you don't have hangers for, not balled up on the floor, but, you know, set them aside nicely because we're going to go through that later. Same thing with shoes, purses. So I, to be perfectly honest, had way more shoes than I thought I had. So back here behind me is right under 60 pairs of shoes, and I got rid of about 20-ish pairs. So I had over 80 pairs of shoes. I had no idea, y'all, I had that many pairs of shoes. Obviously, I was able to very quickly see over 20 pairs of shoes and be like, I don't wear these. I don't wear these. Well, if I'm never wearing them, then it's time for them to go. And we will talk later about what we're going to do with the things when they need to go. So if it's not neat and organized, if it's not hanging up, if it doesn't have a spot, get it out. See the space you have left. See if you can do what I did. See if you can bring things back in and start to get it organized. If you can't, that's fine. We'll work on that on the next step. If you can, go ahead, get the basis of your organization. And then finally, step 3 for this week, if it belongs in your closet and it's not in your closet now, you need to get it into your closet or get it ready again to go through the review process to determine if it's going to go in your closet long term. So what I mean by that, and I'm going to raise my hand here and tell you I am like the #1 guilty party of this. Raise your hand if you have clothes, laundry around your house, not in your closet. At any given point in time in my house, I will have a stack of laundry on my couch in my living room, which, because that's where clothes belong, right? I might have a stack of folded clothes on my dresser that like I'm gonna put away, and then I just start pulling from that stack. I will usually have about 2 hampers full of dirty clothes that need to be washed in the laundry room at a given time. And then I will usually have at least 1 load of clean clothes that need to be hung up and put away, just sitting on top of my dryer, and where I'll do the same thing and I'll start pulling from it until it eventually gets empty. Stop doing that, because the next step of this process is we are going to review every single thing we have and determine if it really truly belongs in our closet, if it belongs in our life moving forward, or if it's something that just needs to go away. And the only way we can do that is if we have everything to review and look at. Sometimes I find that I have like duplicates of very similar things. And so when you get everything together, you might be like, oh, shoot, I have 3 blue dresses that are practically identical. I don't need all 3 of these blue dresses. I'm going to pick the one I like best, the one I feel best in, and the other 2 I'm going to pass on. So that's why it's very important that we have all the things that we have in front of us. So that's why I understand. That's why I'm saying, don't worry about doing this in 1 day. Don't worry about being able to do this in 2 hours. That's going to take time. So what I did was day 1, I cleared all the mess out. Day 2, I went through my pile of mess and determined what could come back in. And then I kind of organized, like I said, with my purses up here and my shoes up here. I organized what I was bringing back in and made spaces for them, what's coming back in. Day 3 through day 7, I will be focused on laundry. I will be going around my house. I will be gathering every piece of clothing that I have that's not in my closet. I'll be washing it, hanging up, folding it, and bringing it back into this closet so that next week we can come back and we can do what I call the purge. And I know that sounds really scary, but I promise you it's not. And it's really, once you do the purge process, you're really going to start to get that idea of how to go forward with your wardrobe. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have found things useful. If you are going through this process with me, I would love if you would drop a comment below. I'd love to know how it's going. One thing, be sure to take a before picture. I do think it's very important. They say never look back, but I think it's important. You can look back to see how far you've come. So take that before picture, show, even if it's embarrassing, you don't have to put it on Facebook. You don't have to make a YouTube video like I did where you're showing it to the world, but take that picture so that when we're done with it, you can know how far you came. So have fun, get busy, and we will see you next time. Please, if you liked this video, you found these tips helpful, please go ahead and just give it a little like, and also subscribe so you can follow along with the process, and we will see you next time so we can be dressed of intentions.